Well, good afternoon, beer buffs. After a little break, I'm back with you with this brown ale Nitro from Pint Brewing out of Magnolia, Texas. Let's get a brown ale pour on. Yum, yum.
He's back, and he's mad for it, so let's roll with it, as you were.
Oh yes, little break after all my travels to the homeland and Britain. I obviously did a beer from Wales when I got back. Thought I'd have a little break for a couple of weeks, but I'm back with you. A special pour from a fantastic brewery, one of my favorites, brown ale out of Magnolia, Texas, down towards Houston way. And I'll talk a little bit more about Houston momentarily. But anyway, let's get organized here. Got my notes. I always worry they're gonna blow away, so I've got this little handy I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and show you. See that little slot? I'm gonna use that handy slot to keep my notes in. So I like this chair for beer reviews. It's not ideal for chilling out because you can't, it's a bit upright, I suppose. Upright, it's very upright, it's very formal, but I've got a Welsh pint glass and I thought I'd pour in that, just a little hark back to Wales, and obviously my Welsh soccer hat, football hat, as you will, but yeah, anyway, not sure if any of you folks have been watching the Oasis reunions in full swing. Don't know if anybody got to see those Gallagher lads from Manchester. I didn't, obviously, but they started their gigs in Welsh Wales in Cardiff. Cheers to that. And as they say, you know, Cardiff's the bee's knees. It's where it's at, and fair play. Wales is where it's at. But I think recently they were in Manchester in their hometown. But fleming expensive tickets. I'd love to take my son to see the boys, but there we go. Maybe one day, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, let's get into the brown ale, folks, where it's at, and see what this is like. So my experience with brown ale predominantly harkens back to Newcastle brown ale, one of my favorites. So you know, I'm using that as a benchmark, if you will. So, and it's a Nitro, so that's good. It's rich and frothy, lovely nose on it, kind of a creaminess to it. That is actually really good. Rich. I will say this, and that's not knocking it, is Newquay Brown Ale has more of an iron kind of metallic taste to it, which I love, but this is slightly smoother, I'd say. Slightly smoother. I'm not saying richer, but smoother for sure. That's a good beer. That's a good beer. I need to talk about it because I think it's just a rebranding in a way, because they used to have the Gentleman's Relish, which was the same thing, a brown ale Nitro, and 6.2%, by the way, ABVs on that. So maybe they changed the name, and when you kind of look at the can, because the Gentleman's Relish always had a British guy in a red coat uniform. I can't remember the story, but there's definitely a kind of a historical vibe to it. It seems a bit more medieval now when you look at that, with the armor and such. Maybe like the old Crusaders in a way. They don't really have much of a story on it, but yeah, but cool, you know, cool. I like that. It's some good can artwork for sure, you know. So yeah. Anyway, carrying on. I get distracted sometimes, these messages when I'm filming this, and it's what's the word? Landscape, not portrait. It's getting all technical for you, isn't it? But the messages come from the side then, not from above. So I know it doesn't disturb you, I guess is the word. Look, I'm looking at it now. Oh, a friend is out in California and they're posting pictures of birds, so that's what I'm gawping at, because I'm a big birdie. I love my bird watching. Big thing when I went to Britain, I was bird watching a lot, so pretty cool. Anyway, back to the beer. You're not here for the birds. Well, you could be a, what do you call it, a twitcher, as we call them in Britain, and trying to listen to the birds in the background, but there's not much going on this time of year for sure. But yeah, I mean, Lone Pint Brewery is one of my favorite breweries. The Texas brewery, like I said, they're down in Magnolia, Texas, which is slightly north, I guess, northwest of Houston. And it's a family-owned brewery that loves their hops, and they do a lot of hoppy beers. But yeah, so the weekend before, I was down there, not in Magnolia, but Houston. So we went down to see Willie Nelson and the legend Bob Dylan. And he's always been on my bucket list, so I was just super happy to see him. He's 84 years old, guys, you know. Willie Nelson's 92 years old. So yeah, we had some beers, we have some friends down there, hang out with them, and it was called the Outlaw Festival, and Willie does this every year, and it was the 10th anniversary of the Outlaw Festival, so it was so much fun. My son's first festival, and lots of beers drank, as you can imagine. So very good, check it out. I do like Houston, check it out if you can. They got a lot of cool breweries down there, but yeah, this is one of my favorite breweries. So oh yeah, it's lovely. It's a good beer. It's quite, I mean, like I say, it's 6.2%, so it's getting up there. It's not huge, but it's getting up there. And very tasty as well, very tasty. But yeah, let's look at a couple of beers that they do. You know, like I say, I mean, I knew this as it was a gentleman's relish, but it's branded as brown ale nitro, and it is superb. It really is nice. It's a good brown ale. So they also do one of my personal favorites, the Yellow Rose of Texas. The Yellow Rose. It's an IPA. I used to take it. Well, actually, I took some last time I was back, but in cans. But they used to do it in a bottle, and I would take it back to Britain and have it with fish and chips. Really just a fantastic tasting IPA. And like I've told you in the past, I've always struggled a little bit with the IPAs, but that is one of my favorites, and I would take it back, and it's a very good accompaniment with fish and chips. Yellow Rose IPA and British fish and chips. So there you go. They also have Tornado Shark, which is a strong ale. When I say strong, it's 8.1%. I've not had that one, but I need to check it out. They have Zeno's Pale Ale. I do like a good pale ale. And then they have a porter, and it's called Undead Head Ed. There's a tongue twister, no mistake. So there you go. A few beers to check out from them. If you are in the vicinity, go and pay them a visit. Unfortunately, I didn't, but our time was a little bit limited. So, but yeah, Houston's a good place. The Magnolia, I'm sure it's very, very good. So check them out. Anyway, back to the brown ale. I'm waffling a bit today. It's catching up, innit? It's, you know, it's been a few weeks, so we're catching up and talking about what's happened and such. But yeah, I just needed a little rest after the long trip to Wales and then Houston, so it's nice to just chill out for a bit and get back to it. So I've got lots of things planned. What am I doing next? I've got a very good sour I'm looking forward to sharing with you folks, so that should be good. And got a few ideas coming up, so we'll see how it goes. But plenty to look forward to. We'll be getting into the fall before you know it, and I'm going to Colorado, of course, so see what I can muster up there. This fantastic brown ale, I said pale ale, brown ale, it's not pale in any way. Really good. Lone Pint Brewing. It's a a solid 10, I have to say. This is one of the best brown ales I've ever had. It's on the level with Nuki Brown. So there you go. Check it out, guys. Give them your support. And as I always like to say, keep it crafty. And I will see you next time. Cheers.